talk to go out there and be involved. There's always education is the most powerful weapon against fascism. And so we want you to use your understanding, and the fact that he spoke to you, Daryl, that he had that in his heart means that he has the ability to communicate to people how they can be involved. Let us go to another question here. How can people, they're listening to us and they're saying, okay, I'm down. I want to be there on the Saturday. How do I sign up? Where do I go? How do I find information? Leah, what can they do?
Absolutely. So you can go to nokings.org. We have got on the main page right there, we've got a map of all of the events taking place around the country. There should be an event close to you. I've heard that almost everywhere there's an event within 30 minutes. But if there's not an event in your town or in your area, it's not too late to sign up to host one. So you can go to No Kings, you can sign up to attend an event, or you can jump on in and start hosting one if you want to do that.
NoKings.org. NoKings.org. People, go there. I've been there. I've been reading the website. I've been using it to plan and to help people find events. So people, NoKings.org. Leah, a lot of people are saying they're looking on the map and they're saying, wait a minute, I don't see nothing in D.C., in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. Why is there purposefully no event in Washington, D.C. that day?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, so when we were thinking about what are they trying to achieve on this day and what are we trying to achieve, right? We know that they are itching for confrontation. We know they're itching for excuses to go after peaceful protesters, right? And so we really wanted to design this in a way where we were encouraging a contrast rather than giving them the conflict that they're looking for. And so we've got a flagship event in Philadelphia instead of in Washington, D.C. We're going to be driving a lot of folks from the East Coast there, and we've got events everywhere else in the country. But what we want to show is kind of Donald Trump can have his parade in D.C., but there's so much more power everywhere else. And so we didn't want to center on, one event in Washington. We wanted to center on the fact that this is in every community across the country, that there's, that kind of popular opposition all over the place. And so that's the thinking for Washington, D.C.
All right. And that's good thinking. There's no sense in giving him that opportunity. As we look at these anchor cities, I got a wonderful notice today that Rainbow Push Coalition is having their conference. Their big annual conference is happening this weekend. And I'll be speaking there on Friday. And on Saturday, there will be a march for No Kings from Rainbow Push headquarters, what we call a feeder march to the major demonstration for No Kings. And guess who's going to be on the front line? Guess who's going to be on the front line helping to lead that march? You know it.
Oh, my goodness. Tell me.
Oh, yes, Leah, you got it. We will be there. TJC with Rainbow Push. We will be leading the march because as the gentleman said, if he can't do it, we know Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson, who has been our, buddy for, just decades. We know that he can't get up and physically march, but he's going to do what he can. But we're going to march in those streets. So, folks, if you're in Chicago, get ready. Meet us at Rainbow Push headquarters. We're going to march. Go to rainbowpush.org and find out more information because we are going to be there. We're going to make this live. So incredible. Yes, but Leah, it's your incredible work, and we're so proud of everything that you and Ezra do for all of us. Let's just go to one more subject. I want to bring in, Karen McRae, and I want to bring in Joshua Raby, who have joined us. Karen McRae, of course, is the CEO of the mighty Concerned Black Men of America. and she's been helping to organize for July 17th, which is another event, folks. Yes, like we said, there ain't no such thing as a one-day event. We keep on marching until our victory is won. We don't stop. We can't stop. And so we are so happy that Karen has been working on all our organizing. She's done some incredible organizing over these many years. And we're happy that Josh Raby, a newly elected official out of Alabama, young, part of our Gen Z and young millennial alumni, is with us also. So, Karen and Leah and Joshua, I mean, this whole thing about attacking David Herta, who was, a union leader. Former U.S. Labor Secretary Robert Reich had warned in a post yesterday. He said, I'm warning you. Attacking unions is a hallmark of fascism. When you hear that phrase, what does that mean to each of you? Leah, what does that mean?
Well, what that means to me is they've got this systematic analysis of who's got power and who they need to go after to consolidate their own power. And they understand that when workers are organized, when workers are united, that is an incredibly enormous source of power in our society, right? And so, of course, as they are putting in action this authoritarian playbook, as they are going after the people who could stand up against them, they've got to look at organized labor. They've got to go after those folks. And so it's not an accident that we've seen actions like the detention of David Huerta, the attack on and detention of David Huerta. It's part of a bigger policy push to go after organized labor.
Wow. Karen.
I agree. I also think it comes back to a few weeks ago when Joni Ernst said we're all going to die. That's what they intend to do, is to numb us. Numb us.
She got the Villain of the Week award. She did. For her, we're all going to die. Oh, my goodness.
Exactly. It's a systemic playbook that they're operating under to numb us to the point where we no longer care. What Leah mentioned about, they want to try and make sure that we comply in advance. All of these things are part of their playbook. It's reminiscent in my mind of Tiananmen Square and Nazi Germany with the rolling of military vehicles on railroad tracks and things of that nature. Like you said earlier, with people dying in the streets, with Medicare being cut, SNAP being cut, all of these things being cut. He is operating as a wartime president in blue America. His enemy is on a blue state, versus a foreign adversary. So in my mind's eye, that's what it speaks to.
My. And if everybody who's been to D.C., you know how you love to see the monuments and you love to see everything, but you always are your heart breaks when you see all the homeless, right? And it's not just D.C., it's all over the country. And here this man wants to honor himself with spending millions and millions of dollars unnecessarily just to try to terrify the people. Joshua, what do you think? You're in Alabama. What do you think about this whole attack on David Herta and the unions?
As somebody that works closely with unions, it's a slap in the face of hardworking Americans, hardworking people. And he is in a place where he doesn't feel like he belongs to something, so he wants to make his own little playground. He's definitely no king. He's definitely no leader. He is definitely that bully that sat at the table by himself at lunch, and now he figures no one's watching, so he can do what he wants. It's disrespectful and wrong at the ways that he is disrespecting unions and hardworking workers, and the fact that you have to go around and sneak and disrespect governors and mayors and decide to do what you want to do because someone gave you a title that you really don't deserve. It's mind-boggling to me.
And, and you're in Alabama. I mean, there's nothing blue about Alabama except for the people's hearts, right? And I know that, but it's people consider this a red state. But folks are gonna, I saw folks are gonna be organizing, for King's Day in Alabama, and folks are organizing for July 17th for National John Lewis Day of Action, and you're in the middle of that. Tell us, Joshua, why does all of this matter to young people? Because young people they've been concentrating misinformation, misdirection, discouraging words to young people about everything, about their future, about activism, voting, whatever. They've been trying to destroy the heart of young people. Why should young people be involved, and what do you think young people are going to do?
Well, this is definitely a time for young people to be involved. And the reason more young people are coming off of social media and into the streets is because we're tired. We're tired of people saying we don't give a care. We're tired of people saying we don't know what it means to be a leader. This is the time. Now is the time that the new generation, the next generation that Dr. King spoke of, that John Lewis spoke of, those good troublemakers. Now it's time for us to be those troublemakers and making sure that the leader in D.C. knows that we're not going to take this sitting down. We're not just going to be behind on our keyboards on X like he is. We're going to come out in the streets, and this is the most important time ever for us to come out and be a part of. I'm participating in the No King's Day program. I'm actually speaking at one of the reddest areas in Alabama on this coming Saturday. And it's important that we galvanize and get more young people involved. And more importantly, if I could do it, a big push and say more young people should know about TJC, because if it wasn't for TJC, the fire that is lit in me and others that have joined in, my fellow TJC brothers and sisters, that's what ignited us. And so we're lighting that same fire back home with others. So those young people that may have never voted before, now they're getting ready to vote, Barbara and Daryl. They're getting ready to jump at the force. As a matter of fact, here in Alabama, we have more young people running for office now than we've ever had before. And that just tells us they're tired of the bullies that sit at the table by themselves contemplating how they can be mean to someone. And now it's time for us to take back our power, take back our rights, and as more importantly, it is important to us because our education is at fault right now. So
all right now, and this is
thank you for that, Josh.
Yes.
Yeah, we appreciate everything that you're doing there down in Alabama.
Yeah.
And Leah, one of the questions I wanted to ask of you is that, we've talked about Los Angeles and what all is going on there. There are some people that are listening right now to this program, and they're thinking that they want to come out and support this Saturday. They want to go out and be in the streets, but they're a little concerned. There's a little bit of fear that they have based on what they're seeing in Los Angeles. What do you say to that person to get them off of the sidewalks and into the streets?
It's a great question, and here's what I would say. I think I don't think any of us wants to downplay the fact that there's not, in a moment when a would-be dictator is trying